Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to Co-Creative Healing Journey. My name is Greta. I'm a healer, and I also love drawing cards. So I put the two together to co-create with Spirit a healing process here on the channel, where I bring through messages from Spirit in order to help you in your process of soul growth and evolution. And then over on my Patreon, I continue this reading with healing energies and dynamics and advice and guidance. And so it transforms into a healing over there. So if that speaks to you, you can look at it in the description box or at the end of this video. It is going super well. The readings are amazing. And today I'm super excited actually because I have an understanding of what we're going to be talking about and I'm excited. So we are going to be talking about expansion. This is week 2 of the theme of expansion. There is energy work over on Patreon, by the way, for those of you who are on Patreon, and I recommend doing the energy work over and over and over again. And here and now, we're going to be talking very much about boundaries, thresholds, and especially when it comes to patterns, where we are in patterns in love and relationships. So we have an overall energy of insight. Yeah, it's time for a bigger picture to emerge. With that, we have fulfillment. Yay. Love it. And we have spiritual quest. Okay, so basically, take it how it resonates. This is really always the case, but more so today than per usual. Spirit is bringing a message that is about you being met where you are. So wherever you are in relationship to relationships, however you're relating to love and relationships, there's a higher truth that you are now ready to take on and to realize. This is like third eye opening. There's greater clarity, deeper insight, and so it's coming from a deeper insight into yourself, deeper insight into maybe another person, deeper insight into what relationships are themselves, into what love is. There's a higher level of truth that is coming in. So it could be, for example, maybe you watch a YouTube video and you realize, oh, this sort of behavior is super dysfunctional and I do that, or this other person does that. And then you apply it and it shifts your perspective, right? It's like that. Or you learn something about the other person that you didn't know about. There's definitely something that you didn't know about, but it's from a higher perspective. So maybe you realize that the other person has been embezzling money at their work. And then you realize, oh, I don't believe in that. I believe in integrity. Oh, I believe in integrity in relationships. Wait, who around me is of integrity? Wait, where am I when it comes to integrity? It's like that. Because the fulfillment card is a card that talks about lessons. And I feel like what Spirit is saying is that you've been learning without knowing that you were learning. There are some lessons that you've been learning, and you're at a point now where those lessons are ready to crystallize into that insight. So again, this is information you picked up. It's something that you learned talking to other people, hearing about their relationships, hearing about relationships in general. It's something you've been learning about yourself. Maybe you've been growing and doing your own work, learning lessons individually, and then all of a sudden within the concepts of relationship, it leads to insight, it leads to something different. There is definitely this energy of having integrated, having acquired knowledge, having learned your lesson, so to speak, your lessons for some of you. And now it triggering a massive insight. This does feel very massive. It feels like an epiphany also. It feels like a realization, and it feels like I was saying in the life reading, life messages, like you're going down the rabbit hole. It's a profound insight, but it influences this and this and this and that. Like it's, you can see all of the roses behind, but they're all roses and they're all blue roses. So whatever you're realizing, it's of the same nature, it's all the same vibration, it's all this is of the same core. So for example, maybe you realize, wait, relationships don't actually work as I thought that they did. Then the insights that follow from that are of the same core of, wait, there's something better. Wait, there's something greater. Wait, I can do relationships differently. Wait, other people could behave differently. Wait, I have experienced this in the past before. Wait, and so on and so forth, right? So it's that core of wait, of hold up, of, oh, it's not as I thought that it was. It would be like that. Similarly, it could be like, You have an epiphany realization, oh, I deserve better. And then it unfolds. I deserve better in that other situation. I deserve better from myself. I deserve better from this person. I'm getting what I deserve here. Okay. And so on and so forth. So that there's a common core to this unraveling and unfolding. With that, we have spiritual quest. Is gonna make you look up, and it's going to send you on a quest for a bigger, better, truer, something more aligned, something more loving, something more divine, actually. And Spirit has taught me that the true meaning of relationships is that they are conduits for divine love to reach us, so that the essence and the core of relationship is that they're intended to serve as means, conduits, for spirit to love us. So that spirit is intended to love us through the people, places, things, situations, circumstances in our lives, right? Everything that relate to in our thoughts, everything. We are intended to be loved through it and by it. But we live in certain ways where that's not what happens. But there's a quest here where you are feeling drawn to return to a more pure, more unconditional, more elevated, more true, more honest, more generous, more kind, right? Whatever you need, however you're shifting and growing and evolving in relation to love and relationships, that's what you're going to feel drawn to. There's a spiritual quest. There's something deep inside of you. There's an inspiration and an aspiration that is coming in and calling you towards it. So it's not benign. It is benign, but I mean, it's not just that you have this insight and nothing comes of it. It's creative. It starts to create a different flow for you when it comes to love and relationships. So with Ten of Swords, yeah, upside down, Ace of Pentacles, upside down. Interesting. We have got the Chariot upside down, and now in this deck the cards have very specific meanings, so I will let you know. Of course, we've got the World upside down. Yeah, you've been needing this at a soul level to close off a cycle of learning and growth and evolution. And you've been needing this. And then finally we've got, of course, yay, Judgment upside down. Okay, so Spirit is going to break down the breakthrough so that you can kind of know when it's happening and what it is, because sometimes we can miss these things. Even if it's profound, sometimes we don't notice. And Spirit is saying, especially when it's profound, sometimes it can be so almost subconscious that we don't pick up on it. So a lot of the work we do here is to make it conscious. The Ten of Swords, again, you may or may not be aware of it, but you've been through hell when it comes to love and relationships. And Spirit is giving you the message that even if you think that you have been and you believe that you have been, you don't know the half of it. You have been hurt more than you know when it comes to love and relationships. It has been more painful than you realize. And you see how all of these stones converge, all these swords converge in the same spot. It's talking about hurt from different sources that were leading to the same wound. So it's like you have one partner who cheats on you, and then it hurts your self-esteem, and then you go, lesson learned, I'm not gonna have anyone cheat on me ever again. I'm not gonna put up with it. So you shift your energy and you don't have partners who cheat on you, but maybe the next partner is verbally abusive, and then there's the same wound of your self-esteem. It damages your self-esteem. So then you learn from that, move on, and then no one who's verbally abusive, then people who are financially controlling, then people who are this and this and that. So there's just when Spirit goes, like, if we were to look at your like relationship aura, if you had a relationship aura, there would be just holes poked in all over from how you have sustained damage from people. Of course, it's not that. It's from relating to people. By the way, whenever I laugh, it's also to dispel energy. It's part of my healing method, and it's also part of because I can totally relate to this. So it's also part of how I have healed, and so I'm energetically passing that on to you, to see the absurdity and all of these things. So there's something new coming. Something new. And the meaning of this card is like the acquisition. You're acquiring something new. You're intended to acquire. In a large sense, it's a new life. In a more specific sense, it's a new relationship, a new kind of relationship, a new stage in a relationship, right? So you could be, maybe you've never had a boyfriend, you're getting a boyfriend. You've never had a wife, you're getting a wife. You've never had a trusting relationship, you're getting a trusting relationship. It's like that. There's a graduation to the next stage, to the next level that's coming in. Ace of Pentacles is very real, and it's going to be very auspicious, very blessed, very likely to succeed. Upside down because it's incoming. It's not here yet, because there is some work to do. The Chariot upside down is talking about path in life. Now, it's almost, yeah, we do have the two aspects here, because it's almost not counterintuitive, but it's like two opposing truths. Because you've never had that before, you don't know how to handle it. But because you don't know how to handle it, you've never had that before. And the life path and the Chariot to me speaks to things that we are destined to experience, destined life events. So before, one of the reasons, especially energetically speaking, and major arcana, we have 3 major arcana here showing up. So this is soul level, and this is exactly what we're talking about, right? Soul level growth and evolution. It's not been part of your experience because you weren't there at the level of soul growth and soul evolution for it to happen and for it to manifest. And so because you weren't at that level, to some degree, anything or everything you would experience, any kind of relationship you would have before, would be hurtful, painful, maybe even disastrous. It doesn't mean that every single relationship you've had has been this. But it does mean that in that area, whether it's friendship, whether it's romance, whether it could even be family, where you've experienced these betrayals, that was where this energy of a higher experience, higher manifestation was guiding the growth and evolution, and therefore guiding you towards this incoming thing, this new thing that's coming in. You're moving towards it all along. And in its absence, everything else felt like disaster. So maybe for some of you, objectively, you will look back and see that these people just didn't have what it took to match with you. They didn't have what it took to love you as you wanted, needed, and deserved to be loved. And it doesn't mean they're horrible people. They just didn't have what it took, and therefore it would always have led to this kind of disaster energy. Similarly, some of you are going to look back and yes, they were horrible people and they didn't have what it took. But there's this notion of forgiveness coming in, right? Not forgiving events, not necessarily forgiving people, but forgiving the flow of life that has led you to have these relationships, especially because you're starting a new flow. Now with the world showing up, and especially this world, you need this level of forgiveness and this process of forgiveness, which again is not to validate or to accept or to say that those things happened for a reason. It's not that, and I think we'll get into it in the healing. It's not about glorifying the hurt and the pain and the suffering. That's not what it is. But it is about taking stock and gaining insight and seeing it from a different perspective, so you can move on to the wonderful, wonderful things that are coming. And the way that you move on is like this, feeling like this, especially in your soul, in who you are, being free of the past, standing strong in it, standing empowered in it, And again, looking to the future, looking to what comes next so that you can handle it. When we have the Judgment show up, this is one of my favorite cards, actually, the Judgment upside down, because it's very liberating. And again, it's a spiritual lesson. It's something you arrive at when you start to realize that, oh, sorry, it's not the moon. It's the Judgment upside down. But okay, this is the moon. I was thinking it's the Judgment. But the energy of the Judgment upside down is that things are not meant to be. And it doesn't matter what you put into it. The universe renders the judgment. This is not going to happen. I will not support this. I will not feed this. I will not nurture it. I will not move it forward because it's not in alignment with what you want, need, deserve. It's not for you, right? The moon showing up is talking about the subconscious levels that I was talking about, subconscious shifts, and I feel like it's talking about subconscious truths that are rising up to the surface, to be seen, to be known, to be acknowledged. And the moon for me is also a card about soul path, where how do I put this? There's some things in life that don't make sense logically. On paper, it should work. Logically speaking, it should work. If I do this A, B, C, or D, it should work, but then it doesn't. And the moon is when we're in the spaces, because the reason why is at this level of the soul. We need to go a little bit deeper. We need to go a little bit higher. We just need to find the truth in a different space and place. And there's a message here that there's a truth that you've been hungering for at a deep level, a thing that is going to allow you to resolve past energy, come into a space of true empowerment, of soul completion, and feeling, pretty darn good about yourself. Really coming into space where you're seeing your value in a completely different light based on freedom from how things have happened before. And then you're going to be much more aligned with what is coming in, what's already coming in, because you're at the world. So you've already been doing a lot of work. You've already been on this path, and you're getting there. So it's not a matter of like, if you don't get it, you're not going to manifest it. If you don't understand, if you don't forgive, it won't manifest. It will manifest. It's just that, again, all this work that we're doing is much more about preparation. It's about consciousness. Spirit wants to empower you to have the best possible position in order to start this new relationship, in order to take on this new love, however it's showing up, right? So we've got Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. And I heard Pillar of Light, everything bright. Mintucken. Longing for a home. Belonging. The original light workers. Okay. We have the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Again, preparation, right? Preparation for the light. Preparation for what's good. And then the initiation. There you go. Rite of passage. You're going somewhere sacred. Okay. So a couple of different kinds of messages here. Pillar of Light is talking about you. Again, the work that you've done. You've been working on yourself. You've been increasing your vibration, your frequency, and your amplitude, especially for this to show up. This is like a whole new amplitude, a whole new baseline, like we were talking about in the life messages. You are just vibrating in a completely different space. It's not even vibration. Again, vibration, frequency, amplitude. So it's more like you're harmonizing, you're existing in a completely different energetic space. And this is something that you can know about yourself. And Spirit is saying, pay attention to you. Do you feel lighter? Do you feel less stressed? Do you feel less worried? Do you feel more clear about certain things, more patient, more trusting? It's showing up in your reality. And it's important for you to be aware of that, to be aware of you, because it's going to guide you in the things that are coming. For example, if you think that you are really needy and you need someone to call you all the time, if you meet somebody and the first thing they tell you is like, oh, I don't like needy people, you'll think, oh, this relationship is not really going to work, and you've learned, you've grown, and you are not needy. So you might go, oh, let me not pursue this relationship, or let me keep them at a distance, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, it's destined. It's going to happen. But it's just going to take more work, more energy, more time, more effort. And Spirit, just like us, does love the path of least resistance. And I remember when Spirit gave me the message, like, call this person, do this, like, call this person, tell them this, and that. And I was like, oh, I don't want to talk to them. Can't you just set it up so like I will be walking in the street and I can just run into this person and we can have the conversation? And Spirit's like, yeah, I could do that, but it takes a lot more energy than just to tell you. And this is, in this reading, Spirit is telling you, you can align with this, you can receive it, and you can work it in a very conscious way, which by the way is only going to feed this this cycle, the cycle of beneficial growth and evolution that is unfolding, the shift in your baseline. Now, my love, longing for home, this is where you're headed. You're headed home. This is the home stretch. So this is not necessarily a person, but it's definitely an energy and an unfolding that is going to be with you for a long time and really for the rest of your days. When you settle into this level, this baseline, this level of reality, and this level of love and relating, you're never ever going to look back. See how this person, they're just looking in that direction. They're not looking back. Where you've been will have been over. And this is just going to be your home. It's going to be your baseline. It's going to be what's normal. How you and this person, these people, relate and you talk and you share and you trust, it's gonna be the norm. It's gonna be the baseline or better, right? You can always grow and evolve and think always have better relationships, but you're never gonna go backward. And so because it is that effective, it is that important. And Spirit wants to help you to care for that. And when you show up with care for the things that are important, that's your heart. That's your heart that is there. Because the heart tells us what is important, what is valuable, what matters, sets our intentions and our will accordingly. So you're showing up with will, you're showing up with intention, you're showing up with value. That is the best possible approach, and it creates the best possible energetic cocktail for things to really succeed for you, which is always what Spirit wants. You're ready. You're ready. A little song and dance. That's what it is. I don't even need to talk. You can just put a melody to it. It's that easy. It's just like you could phone this in. You've done this. You've done the work, and you've prepared, and that's the beauty of it. You've prepared for this relationship, this person, this dynamic, this level of relating. You've prepared for it, and it's going to be different for every single person watching, because we all have different starting points. We all have different journeys through life. With the chariot, we don't have the same trauma. We don't have the same resources in life, personal resources, or social resources, relational resources. We haven't been taught the same things. We don't have the same ancestral patterns, and so on and so forth. Physical ailments and issues, and financial ailments and issues, all of these things. We're all different, and so it's gonna be for you. So let's say you've learned your lesson and you're really good at judging people's character, but maybe you have some trust issues. It's fine. You don't need to have perfect trust in this relationship, because maybe this person is going to be someone who is so trustworthy that they're not bothered by anyone who has trust issues, because they know they're just going to be trustworthy. So they're like, yeah, you have your trust issues, and day after day, time after time, I'm going to be trustworthy, so it doesn't bother me. And then the two of you can learn and grow and evolve, and you can learn and grow and evolve, meaning you just have trained enough. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to, like, also walk a fine line and, oh, if I don't say this at this moment in this way, then it's all going to be ruined. No. You know what you need to know. You are what you need to be. You've gotten as far as you need to get for this relationship, this connection, this level of relating. Finally, there is a bit of darkness here, and the bit of darkness is representing the work. And I said recognizing, so that's also an aspect of it. You do need to recognize that there is some work to do. There are some things that you need to work through, and that you need to move through in order to get to there, to where you're headed, which is somewhere sacred, somewhere again to value, to care for. And so whatever issue you have, you are being guided to work on it. Like, don't disregard the darkness. It's fine if you show up with it, but also do your work, because you choosing to do that work shows how much you're valuing where you're headed. And again, it just adds this beautiful love energy into it. And, I remember just these past few days, I was like, I'm less trusting than I thought I was. Oh, I have trust issues on a certain level to a certain degree, right? But like, oh, I still have that. Okay, let me work on it. It's like that. Oh, I still have this. Oh, I still have that. Oh, I'm still a little petty. I'm still a little needy. I'm still a little, and it's to see that dark, recognizing the darkness. It's not bad. Again, you're where you are now. So what you're gonna see is not something like, it's not the trust issues I had 10 years ago or 20 years ago. That would be problematic, and it would not even be close to alignment with this kind of thing that would be coming, for example, right? And it's the same thing for you. Whatever it is, you've been working on it. You've been moving through it, right? Lessons have been learned, but there's still some stuff. Don't look away from the darkness that is going to be showing up. Really take it on, work with it, because it's just you showing how much you're going to love what is coming ahead. And I did not draw this tarot deck at all. I actually forgot it was here. Oh yeah, I went back to the old one. Let's draw one card. What's that about, Spirit? 10 of Cups upside down. It's all good. Exactly. 10 of Cups is, the happily ever after. I set up the decks, and I was going to go in a row, and I was going to use this deck because I use these in the YouTube messages. There's a method, there's a way, right? And that would be me doing the reading right. 10 of Cups upside down. You can't do this wrong. It's gonna end up, and 10 of Cups is also my happily ever after card. So again, if that's an energy that speaks to you, you're heading towards that. But this is a 10 of Cups that is at night, it's dark, but it's still the right thing. It's still happiness. There's gonna be some issue, I feel like, with recognizing the people, places, and things that are coming. There's, on some level, this darkness here is going to keep you from fully recognizing it. Like, if you have trust issues, you'd be like, this person is really trustworthy, where they actually are. They just don't show it in the same way. Yeah. Page of Cups, forgiveness, shedding energy. Again, that energy of forgiveness is showing up. Maybe we'll talk about it in the healing. But there's a message about coming in unburdened. And the degree to which you're unburdened is the degree to which things, Six of Swords, are going to make sense mentally. It's going to flow. There's going to be coherence in your perception of how things are going. And that's especially important because what we're talking about is a lack of coherence around your happily ever after, for example, or your true fulfillment. Or a relationship, a connection, a level of relating that is going to be incredibly fulfilling to you, but you might not have the ability to recognize it as such. So unburden yourself. This is interesting. Oh, okay. It's because I haven't started the healing. Wow, this is so interesting. I'm going to be using all the decks here on YouTube. But why? Yeah, boundaries, thresholds. Things are just kind of in flux. I'm not going to go too much deeper into it here. I feel like we'll unpack it all at the healing. But takeaway for this reading, my love, you are adored. Yay. You are adored. And boy, are you ever. And it says, don't be fooled by the players, and don't be fooled by yourself. There's no one more lovable nor loved than you, and I know everyone. Precious the universe. Yeah, it's a message. There's people, there's a person, there's people, there's a level of relating that is going to come for you where you're going to be adored as you need to be. And adoration is a relationship that we have with divine. There is something about the divinity of love inherently and in relationships. There's insight, greater insight that is coming for you within this area of your life. Within love and relationships, there's divine energy, divine perspective, understanding of true love, of unconditional love that is coming for you and materializing for you. Yay. So that being said, that was the reading. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for participating, bringing your energy. Love it. Love giving you these messages. Congratulations. And if you would like to go into the healing, where I imagine we're going to be talking about forgiveness and really get into those actually thresholds and boundaries, Yes, we are. That will be over on Patreon. Link is in the description box at the end of the video. Lots of love. May you be blessed always and in always. And I will be seeing you around. Bye bye.